السلام عليكم. مرحبا بكم في قناة ذا بروفيسور. النهاردة معانا سونيت 18 للعالمي ويليام شكسبير. وزي ما انتم عارفين ان سونيت 18 من اشهر القصائد في الادب العالمي وتدرس في جميع انحاء العالم. خلونا نشوف شعارنا في الاول. The more you listen, the more you speak. And the more you read, the more you write. وخلونا نشوف الفيديو، تابعونا.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling bed of May, and summer's leave hath all too a shorter day. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often in his gold complex and dimmed. And every fair from fair sometime declines, by the chance nature changing course and trim. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of the fair thou owest, nor shall death brag this wondrous image shade. When in eternal lines the time thou growest, so long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
Or not to be. Shakespeare's favourite metre in particular was iambic pentameter, where each line of verse is made up of 5 two-syllable iambs for a total of 10 syllables. And it's used for many of Shakespeare's most famous lines. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon. Notice how the iambs cut across both punctuation and word separation. Metre is all about sound, not spelling. Iambic pentameter may sound technical, but there's an easy way to remember what it means. The word I am is pronounced just like the phrase I am. Now let's expand that to a sentence that just happens to be in iambic pentameter. I am a pirate with a wooden leg.
As you probably noticed in the last slide, there was a very specific pattern to that line of poetry. It was unstressed, stressed. This pattern or grouping of stresses, unstressed, followed by a stressed syllable, is called an iamb. As you likely know from words like pentagon or pentagram, the root penta means 5. So when we have 5 groupings of iambs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have what's called iambic pentameter. Putting all these terms together gives us iambic pentameter. The meter or rhythm that Shakespeare uses in all of his poetry, both his sonnets as well as his plays. Each line of poetry has 5 sets of iambs. Let's take another look at that silly line from earlier. I want to eat this green banana now. There are 5 sets of iambs in this line. The first is I want. The second is to eat. The third is this green. The fourth is banana, takes up only part of the word. And the last 2 syllables make up the 5th iamb, na now. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iambs. Since each iamb has 1, 2 syllables, it equals a total of 10 syllables. Now let's take a look at one of the most famous lines from Shakespeare, the first line in his Sonnet 18. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? 10 syllables. They are, of course, in the pattern unstressed, stressed. Shall I, not shall I, but shall I compare thee to a summer's day? For 1, 2, 3, 4. Hence, we have iambic pentameter.
Sonnet 18 by William Shakespeare. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou grow'st. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.
Summary. The speaker opens the poem with the question addressed to the beloved, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" The next 11 lines are devoted to such a comparison. In line 2, the speaker stipulates what mainly differentiates the beloved from the summer's day. She is more lovely and more temperate. Summer's days tend toward extremes. They are shaken by rough winds. In them, the sun, the eye of heaven, often shines too hot, or too dim. And summer is fleeting, its date is too short, and it leads to the withering of autumn, as every fair from fair sometime declines. The final quatrain of the sonnet tells how the beloved differs from the summer in that respect. Her beauty will last forever, thy eternal summer shall not fade, and never die. In the couplet, the speaker explains how the beloved's beauty will accomplish this feat, and not perish because it is preserved in the poem, which will last forever. It will live as long as men can breathe or eyes can see. Sonnet 18 is one of the best known of the 154 sonnets written by the English playwright and poet William Shakespeare. In the sonnet, the speaker asks whether he should compare the beloved to a summer's day, but notes that the beloved has qualities that surpass a summer's day. He also notes the qualities of a summer day are subject to change and will eventually diminish. The speaker then states that the beloved will live forever in the lines of the poem, as long as it can be read. There is an irony being expressed in this sonnet. It is not the actual the beloved who will be eternalized, but the description of her contained in the poem, and the poem contains scant or no description of the beloved, but instead contains vivid and lasting descriptions of a summer day, which the beloved is supposed to outlive.
Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling bed of May, and summer's leave hath all too a shorter day. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often in his gold complexion dimmed, and every fair from fair sometime declines, by the chance nature changing course and trim. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of the fair thou owest, nor shall death brag this wondrous image shade, when in eternal lines for time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee.